There was a time when a motorcycle didn't need winglets, launch control, or a massive electronics package to be exciting. All it needed was a big engine, a real chassis, and enough torque to make every straight road feel too short. And Kawasaki had exactly that formula, the ZRX. But while the ZRX1200R became the icon everyone remembers, there was another version that quietly disappeared from the conversation, the ZRX1200S. So what if Kawasaki brought that forgotten machine back for 2027? The ZRX1200S was never designed to be a traditional superbike, and that was precisely the point. It combined the aggressive character of Kawasaki's big-bore muscle bikes with a more practical, half-fair design. Underneath the bodywork was the philosophy that made the ZRX family so interesting. Big displacement, strong torque, upright ergonomics, and mechanical character. This wasn't about chasing lap times. It was about making a motorcycle that felt powerful every time you opened the throttle. And that's exactly why the ZRX name still has a cult following today. Look at the modern motorcycle market. Manufacturers have become extremely good at building fast motorcycles. But fast doesn't always mean memorable. A modern machine can have incredible performance and still feel completely interchangeable with the next motorcycle in its class. The ZRX was different. It had an identity. The shape, the engine, the exposed mechanical character, and most importantly, that unmistakable Japanese muscle bike attitude. That's something Kawasaki could potentially bring back without simply copying a modern superbike. Now imagine Kawasaki taking that philosophy and translating it into a modern 2027 machine. The design could keep the ZRX's signature muscular proportions, but become significantly sharper. A compact LED headlight, a more aggressive half-fairing, a sculpted fuel tank, a short rear section, and of course, a large exposed engine dominating the center of the motorcycle. But this is where the revival becomes interesting. Instead of turning the ZRX into another extreme superbike, Kawasaki could keep it relatively simple. A large displacement four-cylinder engine, strong low and mid-range torque, modern fuel injection, ride. And the engine would be the heart of the entire idea. The original ZRX1200S was never about chasing the highest possible horsepower number. It was about usable power, that thick wave of torque that makes a big four-cylinder feel completely different from a smaller, high-revving engine. A modern version wouldn't necessarily need an enormous horsepower figure. Give it strong mid-range performance, a deep four-cylinder character, and gearing designed for real roads rather than just a racetrack. That could make the ZRX1200S something increasingly rare. A motorcycle that's exciting without requiring you to ride at ridiculous speeds. And here's the biggest question. Would Kawasaki actually build something like this? There is no official confirmation of a 2027 ZRX1200S revival. So this remains a conceptual look at what a comeback could look like. But the idea makes sense from a product perspective. Kawasaki already has a history of bringing modern technology together with recognizable heritage. The ZRX name has recognition. The muscle bike formula has character. And the retro performance market continues to prove that riders don't always want the newest looking motorcycle. Sometimes, they want the motorcycle that feels different. That's why the ZRX1200S is so interesting. It wasn't the loudest motorcycle in Kawasaki's history. It wasn't the fastest. And it certainly wasn't the most technologically advanced. But it had something modern motorcycles sometimes struggle to create: personality. A 2027 ZRX1200S wouldn't need to become another superbike. It could be something much more interesting. A modern Japanese muscle bike with the soul of the machine that started it all. And maybe that's exactly why Kawasaki's forgotten ZRX deserves one more chance. Would you ride a modern ZRX 1200S? Let me know in the comments.